Hi guys, Claudia Boleyn here. This is a super quick video and I'm going to try not to cough, just to say that I'm still here and sorry about the gap in my content over the past week or so. I've had a really bad chest infection, so I've been on antibiotics, but I haven't been able to talk much because of my throat, and I've just basically been coughing all the time and feeling really ill, so really not up to making videos, honestly. It's not COVID, thank goodness. Like, I checked, I got a proper test and everything, but although I did lose my sense of smell and my sense of taste, which is starting to come back now, that was interesting. But my antibiotics are actually finishing today, so I think I'm on the mend, like I'm starting to be able to smell things again, so I miss my sense of smell. So yeah, my family are around for the Easter holidays at the moment, so videos might be a tiny bit sporadic. But that's only for 2 weeks. But I've got quite a few video topics that I've been researching recently. So in terms of Meghan Markle, we've got a lot of stuff going on because there's Samantha Markle's case, which was thrown out, which is brilliant. And I think we kind of knew it would be. But that's really great. I want to look into that. There's been some really interesting magazine covers to go through as well. Some interesting stuff about Kate and William's marriage. And I don't mean in terms of like a gossipy sense, like let's get into their marriage, but it's interesting, isn't it, to see how the media machine moves and how when Meghan isn't around, isn't showing her face very much, they will just go for the next person. So that's basically why William and Kate really should have allied up with Meghan and Harry rather than turning on them, because there will always need to be a scapegoat. And if Meghan and Harry are off the radar for a bit, then it's going to land on somebody else. I think we knew that already, but I guess they're learning that. We've got Harry taking on the Mail, which is fantastic, and I wish him the best with that. I think it's wonderful that he's doing that. The Daily Mail is just a horrendous. I don't even want to call it like a paper. It's just vile. And I really, really hope he's successful in that. So I'm also researching for a video about Christopher Eccleston, for any of the Doctor Who fans out there who follow me for Doctor Who stuff, which I used to talk about a lot and which I want to get back into, actually, because I have a lot to say about Doctor Who. But he played the Ninth Doctor in Doctor Who. He's a working class actor. He's northern, and basically there was an issue when he left Doctor Who, and it was kind of a bit shady, and he says that he was blacklisted by the BBC for a time. I won't get into it all here, but I've been researching it, reading his autobiography. I made a tweet on Twitter about the fact I wanted to maybe dive into this in a video, and I had there's so much of a response. So that's something I'm researching at the moment. Because obviously, on this channel, I'm kind of currently looking at smear campaigns and what they do to, I think specifically, like I've kind of leaned into what they're doing to Jeremy Corbyn, Prince Harry, Christopher Eccleston. Like, I'm particularly interested in what they do to white men who divert from the kind of norm or centrism, or kind of rock the boat a little bit. And I think that we live in a society where people make examples of them. So that's something I'm getting into. So yeah, I've had a lot of interest in that, so I'm going to try and be as thorough as I can. And yeah, I've had some interesting responses on Twitter. Some people who claim to have been part of it and know what went on and things like that, which is interesting. But yeah, so Christopher Eccleston's a left-winger. He's really like anti-monarchy. He's a really interesting man. I have a lot of time for him and his politics. He's very thoughtful. And it is interesting to me because I think people like him, he's kind of been smeared like, oh, he's just grumpy, working class, grumpy man, and why should we listen to him? And he writes very well about this in his book, about how, no, he's just angry about inequality, but of course, because he's working class, they just act like he's grumpy and difficult, etc. But they do that to a lot of people who stand up against injustice. We've seen that across the board. Politically, we've got some really fascist stuff going on here. We've got refugees being put in detention centres. There's a lot of racism, which is really scary to look at. So yeah, I've got a lot of content coming. Might be a bit sporadic over the next couple of weeks while I recover and while my family are kind of about for Easter. But yeah, just thought I'd check in. Now I've got a voice to speak to you with. Yeah, all right, love you loads. I hope you're doing well, and hopefully I'll be able to put some content out really soon. And if there's anything else you see or anything you want to add, please leave it in the description box, and I'll take a look at that. All right. Okay, love you loads, and I'll see you really soon. Bye.